So a mistrial was declared by the judge in the case of Karen Reed, who was accused of drunkenly driving over her police officer boyfriend at the time, John O'Keefe. This case has certainly been interesting to follow because her entire defense is that this was a frame job by the police department themselves, and even one of the investigators was dismissed recently. So evidently one of the state troopers who helped to lead the investigation admitted that he sent sexist and offensive messages about the defendant to his friends. And after the mistrial was declared, he was actually relieved of duty, so he was fired. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that she's off the hook. It'll just mean that she will be retried, as a jury was not really able to find her guilty or not guilty. It was kind of a split decision. Definitely a lot of shades of gray here and a lot of area to kind of fill in the blank, because how the chain of events supposedly went is that her and her husband Reed and O'Keefe were out drinking at a couple bars, and then they ended up at one of the fellow police officers, houses for an after party. And the next morning he was basically found in the snow, kind of abandoned and left to die. So had it not been for the misconduct, in my opinion, of the one lead investigator on this case, I think that this trial would have turned out very differently and would have had a very different outcome. But I think that definitely casts, without a shadow of a doubt, some questioning as far as the conduct of the police department here. And understand that everything counts when it comes to the legal process in a trial like this. They're going to look at every single thing when you're explaining to a jury. So the defense is going to take what they can, and the prosecution is going to take what they can and run with it. So either way, this definitely could have turned out different. But what do you guys think about what happened, and what do you think is going to happen in the future? Do you think she was guilty, or do you think that it was in fact framed like she said by the police department?